Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. Something like this was bound to happen sooner or later, but it's just so sad to see.
Well, I was standing in the crowd with my dad when all the people rushed on, which made me really frightened because I didn't really know what was happening at that time.
I think really the whole Brighton story should act as a kind of a football public health warning. You know, this may happen to your club if you're not careful.
Keeping your club alive is often very painful, but is it worth it? Yeah, of course it's worth it. Fans United 97 was originally thought of by a Plymouth fan, and a Brighton fan living in London took on this idea and thought it'd be great, and got a bit of publicity through Danny Baker on radio, and it sort of snowballed from there.
Well, the inspiration for Fans United came when I was looking on the internet and through some football pages, and we found the Brighton campaign page, which they'd set up because of all the trouble that they were having at the club with the chairman, like the ground had been sold and they were going to go out of business. And on the page they had messages of support from fans from all over the world, from many different clubs and countries like Germany, Australia, America. And basically, as I saw all the different messages of support, and it got me annoyed as well, thinking of the way the little clubs are being treated recently. And I thought it would be a good idea if everyone came to Brighton one day to show that football fans can come together when times aren't that good at other clubs. And well, basically, when I thought of the idea, there was a bit where you could submit your comments to the page, and I just put the idea on there. And when it was forwarded onto the page, a guy called Warren Christmas picked it up.
When the idea was put onto the internet, the idea of bringing lots of fans down on one particular day was started to be discussed. Gary Crittenden, who runs the unofficial Brighton and Hove Albion website, and I thought this was a great idea. Basically, we leapt on the idea, gave it a name. We chose a date, which was February the 8th, purely because there were no Premiership games on that day. And literally the day we discussed it, we got on and did something about it. We wrote to Danny Baker, who was at Radio 5 at the time, said that the event was going ahead, and also enclosed a guest book from the internet site, which had at the time dozens and dozens of supportive messages. Danny Baker, within 2 minutes of coming on air that night, went onto the microphone and said, "This is a great idea, I'm really behind this." Within days, the idea had snowballed, everybody was behind it. Within weeks, there was literally thousands of messages on the internet site supporting Brighton's cause and the event. And the whole thing just exploded from there. From just a few internet messages and a sort of a tiny discussion, it had grown into a massive event.
Yeah, the outcome was really surprising, actually. When we travelled up there on the day, I was just amazed at all the media attention that it had got and all the people that had turned up.
Germany, yeah? Yes. Chelsea. Yeah. Remember all the shot.
those that came, it was a wonderful day. Probably the first time in their lives that they've stood in a stand with 50 different representatives of other clubs. Also, maybe change the attitude of the club owners, because you know, there were a lot of club representatives here, and they were all saying to the management of the time, you know, we know what's going on, and we're not going to let it happen to this club.
Suddenly we realised that there were fans around the country that really did care, that they cared about football and not just about their own clubs, that they cared about what was happening, about our situation.
You can't say enough thanks to the people that came that day, because thanks to them, Brighton and Hove Albion has league status now.
Never seen anything like it, really. Fans from not just all over the country but all over the world converging on the Goldstone. It was a very sort of festive atmosphere, which was quite strange, really, considering that the club were struggling against relegation, and you know, their very survival was still very much at stake.
I don't think we would have stayed in the league had Fans United not happened. It certainly inspired the fans to get behind the team at last, while the new manager came in to reorganise the team tactics, but it played a big part in that way.
To all intents and purposes, we were dead and buried. Brighton were going to be relegated to the Vauxhall Conference. The fact that there was so much interest generated by that game showed the players how much everyone cared. It showed the players how much the nation cared, if you like, and it was just a tremendous day, and I don't think it'll ever be forgotten by anyone who was there.
I thought the Fans United game was a very moving demonstration of football acting as a family, and supporters coming not just from England but coming from Europe as well. I come back to the point, football has got to see itself as a family. There is an interdependence here. Big clubs can't survive without small ones. Small ones need the big clubs to give football the kind of buzz that it's got at the moment. But if we become so consumed with our own club that we ignore the plight of the clubs that are going through difficulties, then we sell the game short, and in the end we destroy part of our own family.
When you look at it now, you know, a heap of metal with no soul. You know, it actually makes me sick. It actually makes me very angry. And there are plenty of Brighton fans that refuse to ever step into this warehouse. There are plenty of fans that refuse to even drive past this development. I don't believe for a minute that the ground had to be sold. Not for 1 minute. I mean, if someone like Chartwell can come in, buy the place for £7.5 million and sell it for 24.5, why didn't we do that ourselves?
There is no doubt that unless there were particular circumstances at the time, a better deal could have been done. It's very commonplace in property development, especially as in this case the landowner had control, that a joint venture with the developer is agreed, which can be done on a 50-50 profit share basis. If the site was acquired for £7 million and the resultant investment was sold for £24 million, a developer would usually expect a return of 20%, which would indicate a profit of about £5 million, in which the club could have shared.
It makes me so angry that it appears to have been done so blatantly and so coldly. But I think probably at the end of the day we were lucky. We were lucky that there was someone else out there that was willing to take a risk.
There's no doubt, but for Dick Knight's perseverance and persistence, the outcome at Brighton may not have been quite so positive. The Brighton situation has actually highlighted how vulnerable some clubs are to the money men scouring the game now and the havoc that they can cause.
I think the most important thing is, with the kind of things that we're doing with Fans United and the Heart of Football, they draw attention to people in the national media and to supporters of the successful clubs, in inverted commas, the Premiership clubs, of what is happening in the lower echelons of the game, that we're fighting for our culture, that we're trying to defend and support our clubs who are threatened by big business, by the money men.
Quite frankly, there are too many clubs now being run by, shall we say, slightly unscrupulous people who really shouldn't be dabbling in something they don't understand. They don't have their heart in football. Football is for people and for supporters.
No longer sport, is now a business.
In the past, chairmen have regularly had to put their hand in the pocket to pay wages of football clubs. The tide has turned and it's no longer that. It's basically if businessmen can make a profit, if they're not interested in making a profit, they're not interested in coming in, and that's basically all it comes down to these days. We've had that many years of them selling best players, of everything going the way of the owners, them dictating everything to fans. They wonder why now we're cynical. It's only the thing that the Doncaster Council have got a lease that have prevented the current owners from selling it, otherwise we'd have been in the same position as Brighton would have had, without a home and without a team.
Yeah, that's a lifeline. The lease is a lifeline. But once that's gone, we're gone, really. That's the end.
People at school ridicule you for supporting your own team, but I mean, I'm a loyal supporter and I love my own team. And it just devastates me, the situation that we're in, and no one seems willing to help us. And when there is help available with various consortiums, and people aren't willing to sell up when they promise that they will do, and it just breaks my heart to see them think that they're going to go down.
All we want is someone that actually cares about football and about football in the town to come and take us over.
Well, I think the hard take is worth it, as we wouldn't be here tonight, 90 miles away in a cold Tuesday night in Peterborough. A lot of the time, I mean, we do come now, we don't even come expecting to win, it's just a pilgrimage, if you like.
It is really worth it. We love this club and this club is ours. not bureaucrats and faceless wonders and people who are running the club who haven't got any interest in the club.
I think really, I mean, we are in a desperate position, there's no doubt about it. We have not got the public support. We didn't have Wembley to look back on 12 years, but we've never been a big club. Often supported Doncaster goals to the big, the Sheffield Wednesday, the Manchester United, this type of thing. We're fighting very much a lone struggle.
I attended a meeting, it was just after Christmas, when again we sat down and we were discussing how we were going to take the Bring Home the Albion campaign forward. And somebody pointed out that Valentine's Day, February 14th, that we were going to be playing Doncaster Rovers, a team who are suffering even worse from mismanagement than we were last season. So the decision was taken that we would try and make a special event out of that day. Doncaster don't have quite the same affinity with their local paper and also with their local police as we had last year. So in order for them to have something similar to Fans United, it needed to take place at somebody else's ground.
We normally deal with a crowd of 6,000 for a Gillingham game, so hopefully for Brighton and for everybody else it'll be around that or above that today.
I think a First Division club would probably have 60 staff on a match day in the offices, etc. We're working with 4 or 5. It gives you some idea of how to deal with it. We actually literally rushed off our feet in anticipation of what's going to happen.
It's about the feeling that the football is being taken away from the fans by entrepreneurs for their own means. The grounds are being sold over our heads with no thought to the fans, the true fans of football. And this applies both to our own team, Doncaster, to Brighton, and to 3 or 4 other teams as well at the moment.
Today for me is supporting my team through hard times, and hard times look to me like the fans are not really getting much say in what goes on.
Well, today's for the fans. I think it shows that football's more than about just money.
That's where 2 clubs unite today, Spurs, Brighton, we both got a win. Today's about the fans getting together and actually celebrating life in the lower league.
Well, it's the heart of football. You know, if we lose the small clubs, well, then we lose what football is all about.
More probably to me, having been Charlton through and through, seeing the club back at the Valley sort of 5 years ago, having been in Exeter for 7 or 8 years, really. That's all it means to me, getting Brighton back to where they should be, back home.
Well, as an Ayr United supporter and Brighton and Hove Albion supporter, I think it's all about football. And the lower divisions can be as good as the higher divisions, and we can climb up from the place we're in.
No, it's very quiet today, all well behaved and seem to be enjoying themselves. It's a family day out, isn't it, for the supporters today, so it should be nice and peaceful, hopefully.
To me, it's bringing the plight of the smaller clubs to the attention of everybody in the country.
both clubs have been really stiffed by bad management, and it's just a show of solidarity that today's result and the game is not important. It's the bringing together of all football fans for the good of football.
Much the same for me. I was brought up in Grimsby, but I've always been a Brighton fan because I was born down there. I come along week after week and see the result of the bad management of football clubs over the years.
People up and down the country can realise it's heart of football basically. It begins here, 3rd division, and we just need as much support as we can get, really.
I think that would be a good example for football, everybody getting together in friendly spirit and enjoying the game together.
Excellent example of camaraderie between football fans all over the country and even the world today.
Well, we've been following the Albion for about 40 years. Discussed that we have to come to Gillingham, but obviously we come here because it's our team, and hopefully there'll be some publicity today. We want to get back to Brighton. We live just around the corner from Withdean Stadium. We can't wait to get back home.
Today is not really about clubs at all, it's about the whole game. When I hope that supporters of all the teams anywhere will come along here, not kick lumps out of each other, but if you like, kick lumps out of the establishment who are ruining the game for us all.
Well, hopefully, this is the pinnacle. This is what football's supposed to be all about.
Turnout today. I hope you're all enjoying it. It's a marvellous display of support for football as well as the two teams, so I compliment all of you and thanks very much for coming.